Okay, we're going to do a little bit of revision, particularly on the programming concept. All right, the concept itself, not the programming code. All right. So I'm going to use this question for this particular session. So you have 4 programming concept over here. Okay, and right, you got, okay, not 4, but you have 4 example of programming code. Actually there is 5 here, but 4 of them is correct. Okay, so you are supposed to draw a line linking each of the concept to the correct example. There is no S here, so there's only one answer, right, of the programming code. Okay, if you like to try, you should basically pause this video. Right. If not, because in a short while I will actually be going through the process of how to solve this particular question. So let's take a look at the concept itself. All right. Okay. You have counting, repetition, selection, and totaling. Okay. So repetition is iterative, so it is equal of saying loop. And selection, all right, is quite direct, because when you select something is either if this or that. All right, so you most likely will have a if, all right, in your particular programming. Okay. Counting, all right, how do we count? Well, normally we will count using numbers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. All right, so that's how we usually count. But now it comes down to this last one over here, right, which is totaling. Now this is the tricky one. Okay, because the rest are quite direct. Okay, so if I have a loop, well, the only one that looks like a loop will be this one over here, which is the for loop. All right, for, all right. Okay, although there has the word counter here, but the counter here is actually to do the looping, so it's actually a loop. And if, all right, for selection, there's only one if here. So if something, all right, then do something. Okay, so if there's a condition, then do something. In this case, if the value, all right, is 10, then I print an X. All right, counting is also quite direct, because when you count, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. So actually you are adding 1 every time. Right? You are actually adding 1 plus 1 all the time. So I can still make sense out of that. Okay, but what about totaling? Right. Then I left with these two. Right. Very tricky. This is to get a total, something plus something. Then the answer put in sum. So you are just creating a total. This, however, is totaling. See the arrow here? Why is totaling? Because you are adding something into sum, then taking the next array or element and adding it into sum, and then going to the next array of the element and adding it into sum. So actually this one up here, the first one, is totaling, not the one at the bottom. Okay, so if you were to draw the line, all right, you will get this answer over here. All right, so one line to one answer, one programming concept to its example.